I'm Marissa, and this is What's Next with Panorama. Sometimes looking at data can be hard. If there's one thing we've learned from our work in schools, it's that educators care deeply and personally about their work and are incredibly knowledgeable about their students and their craft. Because we care and know so much, it's tempting to draw fast conclusions about what survey results mean or don't mean for our practice, especially when we're surprised or alarmed by what we see. In other cases, disengaging with results entirely can be a way of opting out of the challenging but powerful process of grappling with what our students, staff, and families need. Here are 3 tools that we recommend to facilitate the process of unpacking challenging results at your school. When we look at data, particularly in the form of numbers, it can be easy to get lost in the world of the abstract. At Panorama, we believe that data is a medium through which we can hear student voice. Behind the Panorama login page wait thousands of students, staff, and family voices asking us to listen. It's important to remember that perception data is not the sole source of truth, but one critical stream of information to understand the lived experiences of people. Here's one protocol that one of our partner districts developed, and we've seen to be tremendously helpful in framing Panorama results. The protocol asks us to unpack data as voice. What are survey takers telling us? What might that mean they are asking us to do? And how might we respond? Another useful protocol we employ frequently in our work with educators is to invite them to share their hopes and possible hurdles or concerns about data use before we dive into Panorama reports. This is a simple framework that can be used to facilitate small group conversations and then to synthesize and document recurring themes for a team of educators. It can become a living document and reference as questions and challenges arise throughout data interpretation. Another mental model that many Panorama schools find to be a valuable lens for interpreting their data is the ladder of inference. The ladder of inference is a theory and a metaphor for moving from noticing and observing to taking action. It was first developed by an organizational psychologist named Chris Argyris and was popularized for education in a book called The Fifth Discipline by Peter Senge. The ladder of inference provides a framework to help us become more aware of how we draw conclusions as we navigate the world around us. If you imagine a tiny ladder in your mind that you climb to make decisions, the rungs would include steps like observing data, filtering selectively, adding meaning, drawing conclusions, changing what you believe, and finally, taking action. In our daily lives, we climb the ladder all the time, and the process of doing so quickly is natural and a survival instinct that protects us from physical danger quite effectively. When we observe a potential threat in our physical environment, sudden brake lights from the car in front of us, a potential burglar in our home, we have got to climb that ladder fast. However, climbing this ladder too quickly and moving hastily from inquiry to advocacy can undermine our efforts on behalf of students. Here is an education-focused example of how this can happen during classroom instruction. In this example, I'm a teacher with 25 students in my classroom. One student, Bryce, puts his head down at the very start of the lesson. With 25 kids to teach and 45 minutes with them, I could very quickly draw a number of conclusions about Bryce's behavior. I might think, he always does this. He hasn't shown interest in learning this year at all. And it seems like he just doesn't care about my class. There's no way he's gonna pass. And once a teacher decides a student won't pass, research tells us this can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Drawing these conclusions too quickly could cause me to take the wrong action for Bryce. I might confront him after class about the behavior and tell him about what I know to be true. He's just not going to pass my class if he doesn't start caring. However, perhaps the assumption that Bryce doesn't care about my class is false, and there's really something else going on in his life that has to be addressed before he can engage in learning. As you look at results with Panorama, stay low inference when you first encounter your data. Take in what survey takers have to say, and stay initially open to the full range of possibilities of why they responded the way they did. Then use the data as voice protocol to further unpack results. Want to get in touch with us? We'd love to hear from you. Reach out to Panorama's teaching and learning team at support+pd@panoramaed.com. We are excited to hear your feedback and your story.